This 3-foot entrance was once the front door of a Bacchanal family's residence. Now just another victim of Tomas.
I just heard a crash, like some glass breaking, and when I checked, my bed was floating. All I had to do was try and get out through the bedroom window.
And that adds to our frustration. We are trying to get to certain places and it's really, really rough. So we at Red Cross want people to know that we are thinking about them and we are doing all in our power to get to them.
A car in a trench of what used to be a bridge, a clear indication of the unimaginable destruction caused by Tomas.
I survived the water because my vehicle is four-wheel, all-wheel drive. So I survived the water coming down from Almond Bay all the way until I got to the bridge. The water was not too high, but then it was raging, and there was no way you could have seen that there was something happening. Although I understood from early at 5, people were already complaining that there was this feeling of the bridge rocking, going up and down. I owe it to God, you know. I'm a God-fearing person. I owe it to God that I am alive, you know, because all my life I've been helping people, and I know the good Lord always promised that He will help me, and this is what He did. He really did take care of me.
Hurricane Tomas mercilessly battered and ravaged the southern end of the island, resulting in untold damage and destruction. The second largest town on the island suffered tremendous infrastructural damage as a result of the tropical system. Roads, utility poles, water and telephone service were negatively affected by the storm. Although there were no reports of death, residential and commercial properties saw their roofs blown off and recorded forms of physical damage. Farmer Myron Joseph says he suffered a huge loss. He says about 3,000 birds. 2 Vieux-Fort residents say they experienced tremendous loss.
Yeah, my family had to evacuate our home because part of our roof fly off. Our yard got flooded, so we had to evacuate to this place here.
After 4 in the morning, I see the whole place dark. I go and see outside very clear, and my whole house got flooded. And my fridge, everything, my TV, everything, water went inside. And they just reached me right in my knees. And I took my children, and the police come and take me in the house. And
some Vieux-Fortians expressed disappointment with the National Emergency Management Organization.
I mean, NEMO has the supreme authority to inform St. Lucians regarding, you know what I mean, natural disasters and so on. I find they fell short. I mean, St. Lucians were prepared more or less for tropical storm. And all of a sudden, I mean, here we were being hit by a hurricane, I think a Category 2 hurricane. So I am saying, you know, they're supposed to be blamed, and as a result of that, lots of St. Lucians are suffering the consequences. You know.
But from my experience, we were only given a warning, all right, for storm warning. But from my experience, between Barbados and St. Lucia, it developed into a hurricane, all right, and that hurricane was not only a Category 1. I figure from my experience it was a Category 2 or 3, but then we had no further information coming from NEMO. So I figure that NEMO has to be on the ball, all right, in such instances.
The community of Font-Saint-Jacques is devastated by Hurricane Tomas, which brought gale force winds and persistent rains, demolishing anything in its path. 3 people are confirmed dead as a result of heavy waters and landslides from the hills in the early hours of Sunday. Noelia Joseph, who lost a mother aged 50 and 2 brothers aged 11 and 29 respectively, says it was a painful experience. She says it was after 4 Sunday morning when she noticed her room was flooding.
So I called my mother to open inside her house for my little brother and I to enter. So when she opened for us, I was on the bed with my child. I was on my mother's bed with my child. So my mother then asked me to move on the bed for her to shift the bed because water was entering all the kitchen, all my mother's room. I went in the living room. So while I was in the living room, a big wind come with water and like it just sent me out. And I find my way with my child. So I end up by the road in the balcony by a lady. So when I was trying to call my mother, I couldn't hear anything. And I guess that's what happened.
Because
and I think like the upstairs house then fall on my mother's house in the kitchen, and I think the house sink with them because we was living downstairs.
Vincent Jean-Philippe says the entire community is covered with dirt and debris up to the rooftops of two-story buildings.
There is a breakaway from the hill which caused the rivers to be flooded with mud and debris, which entered into the community from the back, and all these houses are right now without any standing. The foundations have been washed away and persons were trapped in there, so we had to get some platforms to walk across to take these persons out of there into the shelters into the community.
We understood that about 3 people passed away?
Well, yeah, that's confirmed. 3 persons have been found. These bodies have been taken over to Vieux-Fort. We had to do some makeshift hammocks so we could take them over to Vieux-Fort. And right now there is 1 community man missing and 1 from the lower community of Warren-Claire missing right now.
Charlotte Pascal is the chairperson of the Fonseca Community Disaster Response Team. She gave HTS News an insight of people who are in shelters.
For now we have about 75 people in there, children and adults included. And well, basically we have no supplies for them as yet. Yeah.
Tell us about the people who passed away.
Okay, for now we have 3 confirmed deaths. We have 1 missing person. We have not seen the body or anything as yet. We got a message, everybody got a message that a storm was coming, but we didn't think it would be so bad. Nobody expected so much damage would have been done.
The damage is almost unimaginable. At the time our cameras were present, many roads through the west coast were impassable. The Fonseca Disaster Response Team are calling on the relevant authorities for urgent assistance.